Oh, there. Mr. Multi-Voice Review is not here right now, so right now I'm going to be reviewing a TV series that most of you probably remembered for those of you who have Netflix. There's a TV series that goes by the name, starring Kevin Spacey as Frank Underwood, name House of Cards. Now, of course, I got the first season of all this, so you pretty much know exactly Kevin Spacey's position. For those of you who never seen the show of House of Cards, it's a show that shows you about how crooked politicians are in the White House. You see, there is a dark side goes on there. And of course, Kevin Spacey, he plays Frank Underwood, and he's a chief whip. Now, of course, what he does is he plays around with other people, and pretty much trying to get his way so he can get into the level so he can be able to become vice president and maybe the president themselves. Now, of course, the show had lasted for about 4 seasons, but of course I got the first season. I haven't seen the rest. Now, bear in mind, this show is not good for children. There's some sex scenes in it and some nudity in it that I wouldn't even recommend for youngsters to keep watching this show and knowing about the dark side of the politics. Now, of course, Multi-Voice Reviewer himself, he was never into politics. He never get involved in politics whatsoever, because he knows there might be a dark side in politics, like I do. But of course, this show is pretty interesting. He has a wife who always helps him out and kind of gives him gets some information for him, and even puts some things in his head and gives him a better idea in life. But of course, not many people know that this show here is not exactly the original show itself. It was based from another show from another country. And that's exactly what I'm going to be reviewing for you today, my dear ladies and gentlemen. So let's get out of this American version here. So if you allow me, excuse me while I change from my southern side. To the British side, of course. Now, of course, this here is the British version of House of Cards. Oh, yeah. Oh, and here's the DVD of it, what it really looks like. Ladies and gentlemen, this here is the British version of House of Cards. And of course, I got the 3 seasons version of this one. In its original BBC series about showing you the British side of politics. Now, of course, this character is not. Now, of course, this character, he ain't Frank Underwood. He is. Well, I forgot his last name, but his first is Francis. And of course, in this show, it's pretty much similar to the American version, except the American is a lot darker than the British version, that's for sure. But that's how politics go in England. Now, in this show, Francis here, he is the chief whip himself. And of course, throughout the whole show, he moves all the way up to be the Prime Minister, not the King. But he does battle against the King in the 2nd season, when he was done when he finally been promoted up to, all the way up to Prime Minister. And of course the 3rd season ended with him. But of course most of you who are House of Cards fans, have watched the old Southern version of the series on Netflix. None of you don't even know about the BBC version. And this one was made around the late 80s and early 90s. Why, this show is more recent. And of course, the actor who played Francis is, of course, Ian Richardson. And he's a very good actor. Knows how to play a bad politician for a Britman. So, for those of you who have cable or Netflix or whatever you have, watch the American version or the British version, and you can see which is a lot darker and which is a lot scarier, and pretty shocking how some politics goes differently between two different cultures of politics. Now, since all this is out of the way, I think it's time for me to run in politics myself and probably see what I can do from that. By Multi-Voice Reviewer, he's going to be reviewing something else. Right now, he's very busy trying to figure out something else that he can bloody do, while I decided to take some modifications and just do this instead. Anyway, that's all I have to say. Check out the shows and enjoy.